to Conversations, Cocktails, and Connections. I'm Amy Hester.
And I'm Emily Reeves.
And today we have a very special guest. I'm very excited to bring on set.
In the studio.
Our friend, my friend, Erin Beckman. Everybody applause!
Take a bow. How are y'all today?
How are you?
Thanks for inviting me.
So Erin is my favorite person in the whole world besides Emily. I'm just kidding.
Making sure.
And he works for me, but is also a very, very dear friend. So I'm very happy to have him, and I'm excited because there is a reason that Erin is here. He brought us a fabulous bottle of alcohol that we are going to make a very fun drink. It's called what?
It's called a Pisco Sour.
Thank you.
And the alcohol it's a Pisco, which is a type of brandy from Peru.
Yeah.
Right. So Erin's going to talk to us a little about his trip to Peru initially.
So have you had this drink before? Like, have you had this liquor?
Oh yeah. It's a personal favorite. I love this one, and it's very Peruvian. So
what makes it very, very Peruvian?
Well, it originated in Peru, and any Peruvian will have a lot of pride in their pisco.
Nice.
And knows how to make several drinks out of it. You have the Pisco Sour, which is the most popular, which is
what we're going to make.
Learned to make for us, and will teach me because I've never made it myself.
But you've had plenty to drink.
I've had plenty to drink, though. I have drunk lots of Pisco in my time.
So would you drink it straight, or do you always make it a mixer?
No, you can drink it straight. And I mean, it's a sipper, definitely.
It's like a brandy. Yeah. So I looked it up, and it is a type of brandy.
Yeah, just like you put brandy on the rocks or whiskey on, like in that, what is that round ice cube called?
Does that
have a name?
A sphere?
A sphere, yeah. Those are so classy. I've
always
wanted one of those.
Yes. Do you know that I have a friend that a dear friend of mine that went on my vacation with me, and her new refrigerator makes sphere ice cubes.
Really?
That is fancy.
They'll just like pop them out?
Yeah.
That's fancy.
Well, I bought some ice cube trays, and they did not turn out quite like sphere. They were cut in half, and they look like boobs. I'm not kidding, because it has
a little nipple on top where
they totally look like a boob. Anyway, so let's get started. So we're making
we're making a Pisco Sour. So I'm gonna stand up.
Okay.
Which, will make me about the same height as you guys. All right. So what we are gonna do is how about you open that?
Okay. The brand is La Blanco. Is I saying that right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, so what I'm kind of nervous about is that we're going to actually make this with egg whites this time. When Amy and I have made sours before, we have avoided the whole egg white situation because we weren't real comfortable with it. So now we're going
professionals now.
Try to do that and see what happens.
I guess we have enough if we don't like it. We could always just dish
some more.
I mean, I think it'll be fun. I don't think I've ever had a drink with egg whites. Or maybe I just didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Surely you have in a restaurant or something.
But what all has egg whites?
I don't know. Well, sours apparently.
Anything with foam on the top, I think that's egg white,
yeah, because it's supposed to be the foamy stuff. So, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna put 2 ounces of Pisco, 1 ounce of fresh lime juice, 1 ounce of simple syrup, 1 ounce of egg white, which I'm gonna assume is.
Ooh, shall I look that up?
1 egg white? I don't know. Maybe I could put them in a bowl and measure out ounces.
Yeah.
And then we put them in the shaker. It says dry shake to emulsify the egg white. And then we add ice and shake it to get it cold. And then we double strain into glass and add some Angostura bitters. So, you know what I think I should do is get a bowl and do the egg white. Cracking an egg white on
Seniors. Oh, that's
video.
So fancy. I love that little gadget, but
so
it's like snot.
I know. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to...
You've been slimed!
Oh my gosh.
Sorry.
Okay, so I'm just going to throw the egg yellows away. Egg yellows? Yolks.
It would make sense. Egg white and egg yellow.
So
Well, we're getting some protein, right?
Oh yeah. It's good protein.
Dinner.
So, I don't know.
How much is that?
You see that this is how we figure stuff out on this show, Aaron. We just,
Just
it's a-
figure it.
Yeah. So
Oh,
we're-
2.5
yeah, it's a
ounces.
little over.
3 ounces almost.
Yeah.
And so I needed 1 ounce per drink.
You need
Yeah,
I don't have the recipe.
I've got the recipe. I think it was 1
Okay.
ounce per drink. So this was. So you said that's 3 ounces right
2.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's perfect.
Perfect.
All right. So we will set this over
I'm
here.
very intimidated by some of these little gadgets.
Do you think? Now here's the next question. Do you think I can mix 3 drinks in here at once, or do you think I need to try to do it one at a time? I think I'm gonna try to do all 3 at once.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay.
You know. So Aaron left me once.
Twice,
He
actually.
broke up with me. And he moved to Peru. So Aaron is fluent in Spanish.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know you were
Yes.
fluent in Spanish.
So say conversations, cocktails, and connections in
Oh
Spanish.
gosh. Conversaciones, cócteles y conexiones.
Say it really loud.
Conversaciones, cócteles y conexiones.
Yes. So you will have to occasionally say stuff that would get us some Spanish viewers, right?
Some Spanish what?
Viewers.
Oh yeah.
Or
Oh,
listeners. So we
can
can like
expand
expand our
your
horizons.
audience here.
Yes.
Yeah.
So where did you move off to when you left me high and dry?
So,
I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh.
not high and dry.
Not
I was
high and
very
dry.
careful about that.
I know. He's the best. And I mean, absolutely the best.
So, what was that? Like a year and a half ago
Yeah.
already. My gosh. So I, January of last year, moved to Lima, Peru. It's a whole kind of adventure on its own. But then I came back in September, October of last year, around there. And
Helped out.
yeah, and Amy was the best. She's one of the greatest people that I know because I just needed some help and some work and different things. And she's like, well, you know, I've already replaced you, but come on, you can do some stuff for me. And then in February of this year, I also decided to go back. Oh no.
It's too full.
It's because the
Well, it
egg
was
whites
worth a
are
try.
probably like frothing up, maybe.
My dogs are gonna get drunk later tonight.
They'll be
And make
grateful.
them go to sleep.
They'll enjoy.
Okay,
Oh,
so I did
it's
the.
not
good.
too full though.
So I did. Well, no, it is because now I'm gonna add ice.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, but if you shake it with one of those big cubes, it'll cool it off. Oh yeah. So anyway, he
Yeah.
left and went to
This is called Cocktail Mistakes 101. Yeah, this is not gonna work.
oh, it's not.
Oh dear.
Well, can you pour some out and then pause? Ooh.
Oh, so you're double straining. What is
Emily.
the double
Emily
straining
gets a
do?
job at the Capitol Hotel when they
Right?
reopen. Because these look.
Yeah, because Emily needs another job.
Oh well. So cheers.
Cheers. So this looks amazing. Tastes really good.
It does taste really good. Like I was really worried about the egg whites.
Is it just to make the frothy on the top? Is egg white? I mean,
I don't know.
I don't think they have much flavor, right?
I don't know.
I
mean,
don't know.
I've never eaten, but I've always watched movies when like people are trying to build up and they're like putting drinks of eggs.
Oh,
That's like they're
oh
raw
yeah.
eggs.
no.
Yeah. Like,
I think you're thinking of Rocky.
maybe.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I don't know if that holds up in modern times, or not,
But yeah,
That's
this
the
is
thing.
really good. Thank you so much for bringing this,
No,
Erin.
thank you for
No.
fixing. I have to say this tastes equal to anything I've tried in
Is it?
South
I
America.
think you're being
so
very kind.
What do they
No.
serve it
I'm
in
very
there?
impressed.
So do they serve it in a coupe glass?
Yeah, a
Or-
glass like this, or one that's I don't know what glasses are called. It's flat. It doesn't have a stem, but
Okay.
it's
Just like
angled.
a highball. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay,
Or like
okay.
a martini glass or something. I was just gonna say, because we've never had this before,
Yeah.
I thought it would be kind of fun to just have a little taste without, just to know, because I mean, literally, I'm gonna do.
Just a tiny.
Here, I'll
I
give
was
you.
like,
more.
you might need
I'll-
a little bit more than that.
I'll
to
give
really
Aaron
taste it.
more because he's
Oh,
probably
gosh.
had it before. I've said before, I'm not a shooter, but I will taste, and I might have a little funny face.
Okay, here we go. Our taste of Pisco.
But I've never had brandy.
So Pisco is kind of like wine. Like it has a nose and I don't know all those things, but you can swirl it, sniff it.
Okay.
And you said it's made with grapes,
It is
right?
made with grape, yeah.
Okay. Which makes me think of it's kind of like sake, but it's because I don't know, sake's made with rice, but it's a wine too.
But it's like it's a similar concept. I guess they probably ferment it the same way.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. You did not enjoy that at all, did you?
I'll keep drinking it. I'm like, oh yeah, it's Friday night around here.
Yeah.
It might be good after I finish my first.
Oh yeah, you have to.
No, I that's just me. I just am not a big shooter unless it's tequila. But it's really, this is delicious. I mean, this is really, really good. So is this a popular drink in Peru? Like what are other cocktails that they'll make with this alcohol?
Another one's called a Chilcano. It's made with ginger ale. Just
kind of like a mule or something?
Yeah, like that.
I saw that recipe when I was looking stuff up for this one. Okay.
Oh,
that
yeah.
looked
But that one's real simple. I mean, it's just like,
that
2 ingredients, maybe 3. Yeah.
I mean, that and ginger beer or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
And what else? I don't know. Sometimes people drink it, like I said, on the rocks. And
okay.
So.
Yeah, it would definitely be a sipper. It's, but it's good.
All right. So what did you do in Peru?
Yeah.
Okay. So the first time I went last year, I did a few different things. Started a job, quit a job, started another job, lost a job, was unemployed, lost my visa. It was a whole kind of roller coaster of emotions.
It wasn't what you were thinking.
It was
like
not.
The job wasn't what you were thinking, right?
No, it was not.
And you went to...
And it's fine.
Yeah.
I, learned a lot. I don't regret that at all. I'm very grateful for it. But thankfully I made some friends there and had a really good time. So I wanted to go back to see some of my friends in February of this year. I do read the news, I promise, but I thought COVID was just a way overhyped, thing. I didn't think much about it. Went there, and within 2 or 3 weeks, the president made an announcement that they were shutting down borders, airports, everything within 24 hours. And 24 hours was not enough time for me to get home. So I ended up staying until just last month. No, July. July I got back. So it was
that was
5-month trip instead of a 5-week trip.
5 months? Oh my gosh. Okay. Because I will act like a mother when I say this. I did tell him that it might be too long to go.
She did tell me that.
I warned.
She did tell me that.
Not because I don't think it was just like COVID, but I was like, well, maybe it was. But I wasn't. But we all were not thinking that it was going to be what it is right now. And because I remember going to the races in February, and it had been Matt had mentioned it a couple of times, like, oh, you should be really careful. And I'm like, whatever. And then literally March is like shut down. But I remember talking to him, and you had taken a trip while you were there, like 12 hours away or something.
Oh, yeah.
So, and he frantically, you got to tell that story because
I
was concerned.
It was the most stressful day of my whole life. So it was a Sunday. The first case in all of Peru had been identified maybe a week before that. So I still wasn't thinking anything of it. And I had already talked with my old roommate about making this trip. And so we got on a plane and went all the way to the north. It's like a 2-hour plane ride, something like that, 12 hours by car. And we got there on a Sunday afternoon. At 10 o'clock that night is when the president made his speech and pretty much said, if you're not where you need to be by midnight tomorrow, then you need to stay put and make arrangements to be where you are. And so we got up the next day, and the buses had already stopped running because they wouldn't have gotten to their destination by the time that the quarantine started because it was a 12-hour bus ride. The flights were all sold out. It was so stressful. I mean, we were running around the whole city from 8 a.m. until I think we finally found a flight.
Didn't you get a flight first or something?
I got a bus ticket.
Okay.
And my roommate did not because he's a dear friend who's not always as on top of things as I am. And as much as I encouraged him to go ahead and get this ticket, he didn't do it. But it didn't matter anyway, because by the time, after I already paid for the ticket, we got there and the bus was not running.
Oh, it wasn't?
No. They said, take a ticket number and we'll talk about rescheduling your bus ticket. Well, I didn't have time for that. I had to get out. So we stopped random people. We went to every bus station asking about it. Nobody was leaving that city.
No cars.
No cars. And one of them, a couple people had been in line in front of us and asked also about tickets back to Lima. And so I chased them down afterwards and asked them, like, maybe we could get a taxi together and split it, which still would have been crazy. But
12-hour taxi?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Shit.
And they froze up and they're like, no, that's not what I said. I'm not going there. And then they scattered away. And my roommate told me they thought you were trying to rob them.
You look so dangerous.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, me? What? Excuse me. But then around 4 p.m., we were close to the airport again, and there was a travel agency there who was getting the tickets that people had canceled. They were dropping to different travel agencies rather than putting them online. And we were able to get a ticket through that travel agency back home. It's 4 p.m. We hadn't eaten all day. We literally didn't stop to eat, to drink water, anything. Like, it was just go, go, go. And so finally we got our ticket set.
I remember I was talking to him, and I felt like you were like on The Amazing Race when I was talking to him. Because it was like, I don't know, the bus is stopped, or I have a ticket, and my roommate doesn't, and you could get stuck there. And then honestly, if you would have been stuck there, you would have been stuck there for like 5 months? Yeah,
well, like, I mean, they did it 2 weeks at a time. They said 2-week quarantine. So 2 weeks would have been a long time.
So you couldn't leave the town you were in. Like, you were trying to get back to Lima at that point. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I mean, restaurants, everything was shut down. But it ended up being over 100 days before inter-country travel was approved again. So we would have been there.
And they only had one case. In one case, right?
No, by that point it had grown a lot. But it was just about a week and a half after the first case.
It was still so minimum compared to the United States.
Well, and I bet that it's still minimum compared to the United States. Because
I bet you're right.
We've done a real shitty job.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's certainly not like here.
So when you were going to this place, where were you going? And what is this, like a resort? Like, why were you going there? Is it just for fun, or?
Yeah, so there's this, supposedly, I still haven't seen it, beautiful beach resort up in like the very far north called Mancora. And so we flew into this city called Piura, which is about like an hour, 2 hour, I don't remember. It's the closest airport, but you still have to drive a ways to the city. Mm-hmm. So we thought we'll fly in there in the afternoon and drive to this beach resort the next day. So we never made it to the beach. Mm-hmm. So I still don't know how amazing it's supposed to be.
Man, that stinks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you speak fluent Spanish. How did you come to speak fluent Spanish?
Well, it was always kind of around me when I was growing up, and I would understand it and stuff. Mm-hmm. And then when I was like 16, 17, around there, I thought, well, I need to learn to actually speak and use it more. So I just started trying and working at it. And then when I moved back to Arkansas, I went away for school, moved back, and I've always had multiple jobs, and one of my, the first jobs that I had when I got back was at a free health clinic here in Little Rock that serves anyone without health insurance. The doctors, nurses all volunteer their time. And the majority of the patients are Hispanic, like 85-90%, quite a few of them. And most of them don't speak English, or at least enough to have a healthcare visit. And so that's where I started volunteering and helping them, communicate with the doctors and nurses and everything. And I love this place. It's called Shepherd's Hope Neighborhood Health Center. It's off of Fair Park. It's like close to UALR. Yeah.
I think it's awesome.
It really is. They really do an amazing job.
So do you still go volunteer there, or are you still in touch with them?
Yeah, I still work there. It's weird now with the way everything is, but it is still functioning.
But there's all sorts of physicians. It's like not just like a GP or something. It's you have dentists, you have gynecologists,
and optometrists, ophthalmologists.
And they volunteer their time.
Yeah.
I mean, did you know about a place like that?
I mean, I knew that places existed, obviously, which it's
amazing.
needed. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's definitely needed.
But I guess since we don't have to do that because we have insurance, you just don't think about it, and it's awesome. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah, because I mean, it's so hard to afford health insurance. I do
Oh my
your
God.
receipts, and I cannot imagine paying what some people pay for health insurance.
No, I had a conversation with a client
I can't believe
tonight.
I pay for what I pay
Yeah.
for health insurance. Like it's.
I have a client. My last client, has had something happened when she went to get like a crown, and it is insane. All of a sudden, she comes in one time and she had to have her jaw wired shut. She had to have surgery to wire shut because something happened during the crown that like broke her jaw.
Oh my God.
So she's had 6 surgeries, Stacey. 6 surgeries, and she's having to go back. They ended up getting an infection. So now she's going back to have a surgery to do something, and then basically put some kind of metal plate for her jaw because something in the bone died. And then they're taking bone from her hip. And she said, and they're farmers, so they're independent contractors basically, so they have to pay for their own. She's like, and this is a lady in her like 50s, the family. I mean, like they do well, but she's like, our insurance is expensive and it sucks. You know, you're still paying a shit ton for insurance, and even people that may have a little bit more than others, it could put you in the poorhouse.
Yeah.
And she's had that many surgeries, and her insurance sucks.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So,
I cannot imagine. Oh, that seems like everything you just described just makes me cringe.
I mean, she told me about it, and I was like,
poor woman.
oh my God. I'm like, well, you're not going to eat for a while, so you might lose some weight.
Well, yeah. I've heard of people doing like brides doing that before their wedding, having their jaw wired shut.
So there was.
I think it's an urban legend, but
no. Okay. Do you remember?
I questioned the doctor that does that. Yeah, I know. I know what you're talking about. You're talking about Real World.
Real World.
Yeah.
There was a girl in
that
Real
did that.
World.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And she was like a model, and she did that on an episode. It was like the first reality show. Don't you think?
Oh, Real World was definitely, and then Road
on
Rules.
Oh, loved Road Rules.
You don't even know what we're talking
I don't know
about.
Real World.
I know Real World
Challenge.
Like I don't even like reality TV, probably because I don't like what it's become. But I did watch the Real World.
Yeah,
that was like when I was in college.
Yeah,
and, it was like kind of.
But it was still real. Now reality shows.
I mean,
scripted.
real. I don't think so. No, they put them in
More-
like big fancy houses.
Well, I know,
it's the same thing they do now.
But I think it's more scripted. I do not watch Housewives. I will say I do not watch it. But I have, over my vacation, people that I was with do. And I heard some of the scenarios that I was like, what?
I try to, actively avoid.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't have time for that.
Yeah, I mean, that would stress me out. Like, I don't want to deal with that stuff.
No.
I don't even want to watch somebody else deal with that stuff.
No.
But it has given us some good, like, cultural touch points. Like, didn't you just read Jessica Simpson's autobiography? That was a good reality show.
That was a good reality TV show, and I did watch that one. That was also when I was in college, I think.
No.
When was
that was like mid 2000s, I think, right?
It was maybe early 2000s.
Okay, we gotta Google, but I won't do it right now.
Okay.
I don't remember because she's close to my age, so I bet it was probably early 2000s.
She has read the book. I'm listening to the audiobook.
No, I was actually listening to the audiobook because Jessica Simpson reads it, right?
Yeah,
and so like,
she reads it herself.
Yes.
I have to listen to that.
Yes, it makes it so worth it because like she gets all emotional, like when she's talking about some of the things. I mean,
I think it like puts her in a new light, like puts her in a
definitely,
especially because I think there's been phases of Jessica Simpson that you're like. Well, one, when you really you noticed her in that reality show, she was very ditzy, and you're like, oh my God. And then you're like, oh, she
builds $1 billion business.
Yes, I mean, she's smart as shit.
She plays up for what she knows will. I mean, she just that book I thought was brilliant because then she wrote it based on all of her journals because she's been writing all these journals since she was a kid.
I love that, and then the fact that I'm surprised like her husband didn't like try to go read, because Nick. You know Nick. Nick Lachey.
Nick Lachey. Mm-hmm.
Do you remember when we saw him at Sundance?
Yes.
Did you really?
But he had like
everybody.
He had like a front man like running down the street going, "Oh my God, Nick Lachey!" Like just trying to like
Oh
Tell
my
him
gosh,
up
you're
some
kidding me.
No.
Oh.
And then Amy Hester was like, Nick! No, I did run after people.
I
She
roll
did.
my
I
eyes.
did run after
She
people.
ran after a lot of people.
I'll tell you the people that were not as friendly that I can think of. One, my favorite that was super friendly was Molly Shannon.
Mm-hmm.
She was so kind. And what's the guy? Oh my gosh, I'm not even gonna say. He's a comedian, short, dark. Maybe Indian.
I don't know, but while you're trying to think of that, remember I saw Philip Seymour Hoffman and like sat there and waited for him, and it was like 2 or 3 months before he died.
Yeah, no, it was
Oh
less
my
than
gosh.
that.
I mean, it was like it
Yeah.
was right like whatever the Sundance was before he died, which was
and
just
they were
right
in
then.
a
Oh.
tent sponsored
They were-
by Acura.
They were,
Yes.
and like I waited, and he was not friendly.
Yeah,
But I mean,
Oh,
obviously
well.
he was going through some shit.
yeah,
Well-
he died. Did he kill himself?
It was
he
an
OD'd?
overdose. Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was
God.
like right after. And Saturday Night Live guy.
Like everybody left me, and I stayed there and waited
Yeah, you
for
did.
him.
Really? You were determined.
I was determined.
Didn't he just written a book?
He was
Didn't
not
he write
having
a
it.
book or something, or there was something just out besides the movie. I don't know.
I don't think it was
But,
a book, but
um,
I don't know.
Those were really fun trips. But you know, one thing about Aaron is when he was moving off, I was like, I'm going to Peru.
I waited
trip.
for you and waited for
I'm
you.
going, and I would look it up, and I looked it up, and because I'd never ever thought of wanting to go there. I've never even that destination ever crossed my mind until you went there, and then I started like looking at how beautiful the country is, and how I mean, you've got like beaches, you've got green like mountains,
Oh,
and
yeah.
green, I mean,
You have rainforests.
yeah,
And, yeah, it has
it
everything.
sounds amazing. What was your favorite thing about it? Like, I mean, because it was a big city. Lima's huge.
Oh,
Like,
it's
what's
huge.
the population?
Like 10
you think?
million.
Is it really?
It's huge.
The city
Huge.
is 10 million.
Okay, I get
Which
confused
is
sometimes if it's like the city proper or like the
Metropolitan
area.
It doesn't
I
matter.
don't always.
Arkansas is like how many people? It's like
Yeah, it's like
2 or 3 million people.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
the whole state.
the whole state.
Yeah.
Mhm. Just
So
for some
it was
con-
for
just
me.
for
It was
some context.
yeah.
Like that's crazy.
Because
Oh
I've
my God.
always lived in small cities.
You went to
You know,
college in Waco.
Waco, yeah,
You
which
went
is
to
like similar to Little Rock.
Baylor.
Sort of,
Oh.
so this was big change.
So, because of Baylor, so did you watch the HGTV show that
Oh, gosh.
made Waco famous?
Apparently, a lot of people want to move to Waco now because of that.
Yeah,
Well, they probably
it's-
think they can find a cheap ass house and redo it, because I swear to God, that show, which is no longer on, I don't think,
Is it not?
but
I
no,
haven't watched.
they I mean, I liked him. I honestly thought the guy, and right now I can't think of his name, but
Joanna Gaines
and Chip. I was like, Chip would be my friend.
Oh,
He seemed fun, and Joanna would be too. She was quiet, but I liked Chip. Chip was very energetic and funny, and
He's like the type of
Yeah,
guy friend that you
yeah.
have. Yeah.
I think so. But they put Waco on the map. Like
Mhm.
really, I mean, I've not
I don't
ever
know
been
if
there.
that's what put Waco on the map. Like,
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
if you
yeah,
really
yeah.
want to know, like, yeah.
Yeah, that's probably
But,
good.
but like they put it on the map. in a
But
good
put on
way.
the
yeah,
show.
maybe they turned the table.
Turn the
for
tide.
Waco.
Yeah, turn the table. Yeah.
We have look, we have fresh drinks.
Fresh drinks and a
We've
mess.
made a fresh mess.
Yes.
Cheers.
Be
Let's see
sure.
if this one's as good, because I don't know. You know, the shaking, the
Mm.
egg goes everywhere.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
We may all have
think it's
salmonella
good.
tomorrow.
What?
I mean, they were in the refrigerator. It's fine.
Just I'm gonna wipe
Okay.
that up.
We have. It is literally the messiest drink we've ever made.
My
But-
feet are sticking to the floor over here.
But it's good. I mean,
It
it's
is good.
really
It
good.
is really good.
Yeah. I think this was a
Biscuit
good
ones.
choice.
Ah.
Ah,
Yeah.
Thanks for the gift.
And
And
we're
I,
like gonna take
it's
the
so
whole bottle
funny.
down here.
it's so funny because when he house sat for me and he left it, and I was like, what is that? I kind of, but the thing I thought it would, I don't know why I was thinking something that looked like coffee, like a coffee-ish
Oh, I can see that.
kind of
I can
something.
see.
And so I was just going to take it back to you, and you're like, oh, I left you something. And I was like, oh, what? And you're like, anyway, tell me about it.
Yeah, well, I forgot to tell you for a minute.
Yeah.
It's like a week later. I was
And I
like,
just
oh, by the way.
And I was like, well, we're going to have you on, and we have to make a cocktail with it.
Yeah.
But
Peruvian cocktail.
what was your favorite thing about Peru? Like, if to get anybody to travel to Peru,
Oh, gosh.
what would you say would be the best thing about it?
Okay, so it's the best. It's such a great place to travel to because, like you said, it has a huge biodiversity. You have the coast, which has, great beaches. And it has, one climate that's, very tropical feeling, and it's, its own culture. And then after that, you have the mountains, which is very traditional and has a lot of like historical culture and things. So a lot of people love to go there. That's like where Machu Picchu is, which a lot of people want to go to. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then after that, you have the jungle or the rainforest, which I actually have not been to. I've been to several parts of the coast and the Andes, but I have not been to the rainforest. I missed it. But that culture seems incredible. And of course, you're surrounded by wildlife and God knows what all. So that's what's the coolest thing is that you have
a little
much
of everything.
stuff
You can
to
see everything.
Yeah.
So did you know that there's a show currently on Netflix with Zac Efron that have you watched this?
I haven't watched it.
He does go to Peru in an episode.
I think you mentioned this.
It's Netflix, and he is on there, and I cannot remember the guy's name that he is on. Is the host with him, and it travels. But he is a fitness kind of guy, and Zach, you are cute.
He knows it.
Yes, he does, and he is cute. But anyway,
he was my type when I was 16, and now he's changed a lot, and now he's my type when I'm the age I am now. Like he has
evolved.
Like, he has evolved to everything that I want, like every stage of my life.
So cheers to Zac Efron.
Yeah, right?
Good job, Zach.
Yeah.
Looking cute on yourself.
So you're back in Arkansas. You've made it home from Peru. We're so thankful.
Thank goodness.
And what are you doing now? Tell us about your life now.
So, as always, Amy is the best to me. What would I do without her?
What would I do without you?
Yeah. But I came back, and once again, after being stuck in a foreign country, quarantined, and unemployed for months, I desperately needed a job. And even though she didn't really need me, she said, well, come on, like, we'll figure...
No, I needed him.
Well,
I needed him in ways that others could, like, he can help. I think I don't know.
He's important to the salon
Yeah.
business. I know. Like, I know you rely on Aaron for a lot.
Yeah, I do. And I mean, he does such a good job that he is so personal with all clients. Love him. And I love him. The stylists love him. But he does so much behind the scenes that we couldn't, I feel like he can handle so much. I feel a relief when he's around because it's hard to give trust into somebody to just look at all your accounts and all your stuff and know that. Yeah.
Well, I'm flattered that you feel that way, but I'm very grateful that you've given me this opportunity. So
gosh.
Now I'm thankfully at Red every day. It's my favorite place to be in the world, literally, truly, best job I've ever had. So I go there, just work from open to the end of the day and see all the clients.
Can I just go into this really quick? Because when I needed somebody, it was before we actually had to have someone in front of us. I recruited him from a place that I was going into a lot, and I saw him there.
I remember this. Yeah.
I was like, I really think he would do a good job because he was always so nice, and he had a smile on his face, and he was always willing to help. No, he wouldn't show any frustration. Not that I don't know if I was giving him frustration, but
Well, I don't think you were. I think you were fine.
But in that type of job, I think
Yeah.
that you can get it. But he was always positive and always happy to do things that you needed. And I was like, oh, that was exactly what the type of person that I needed. And I totally tried to nonchalantly recruit him. And I did. And it is so evolved in more than just the front. I mean, he's me, like the other me.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing your website for like the shopping side of the website. I mean, I know
like
you're
office stuff,
client relationships,
and he's like
and doing all this other
managing
stuff.
the stylists and so he's. But I mean, from when you started just answering the phone, I mean, it's like totally evolved. So it's like more than.
But I tell you, there's nothing like working in a salon and a luxury top tier salon. I mean, the people that come in, the stylists that we work with, the level of talent and skill that I see on a daily basis, and you know, to see somebody come in and saying, I didn't even try this morning, like I'm here, you know, and to leave looking, you know, like $1 million. I mean, it's just
like
and feeling like that's the thing. Yeah, they
Especially
leave
now.
feeling like it.
Especially
So,
now with
yeah,
COVID, because they're not trying and they leave and they're like, oh, I feel good. I'm glad I came.
Exactly. Yeah. So there's just nothing that really compares to that. So.
We are glad you're back.
We are so glad.
I want you to stay. I know you've got worldwide,
I mean,
the adventure bug, but we hope you stay.
Yes.
I'm so grateful to be back now that I'll be here for a minute.
Oh my gosh.
So,
yeah, because it was hard for you to get back.
Yeah.
It was hard. But anyway, let's do cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for being on Conversations, Cocktails, and Connections.
Thank you for inviting me. It's been
this was delicious.
So much fun.
Like this was a
And
really
these are delicious
messy,
cocktails.
a messy cocktail, but worth every mess.
Worth every mess.
Until we get them all down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brush up.
And we're out.